So before anything else, I would like to thankful to our divine mentor, supreme founder of the Kingdom of God, His Majesty Supreme King Philemon Ondok Priambuans. To our 5 spiritual mothers, 12 tribes, 12 apostles, which including our King Regional of Region 2, King Edgar Palor Leguto. Good evening. And to our 70 prophets, which including our provincial leader of province of Quirino, King Alex Ancheta. And to our provincial leader of province of Isabela, King Semprosio Ancheta. To all municipalities, barangay, down to Puro. So most especially, I would like to thankful to our beloved Prince, Rocky Y. Riambonanza, the President of the Royal Alpha Omega Ring Trading Corporation. To our King Adolfo Riambonanza, the President of Philippine Deuterium Development and Management Corporation. So good evening to all of us. So my topic now is all about what is Dapitan according to the plan of God. Now, if we will talk about Dapitan City, we will start at the time when Jacob was born, because the exact time begins in his life. Jacob was born in negative 73. Before he entered Egypt, he lived in 130 years in Israel. And that was in negative 73 to positive 57. This was at the time of Joseph, when he became a governor of Egypt. 17 years after Jacob arrived in Egypt, he died. The family of Jacob lived in Egypt within 430 years. So it was at the time of Moses. In short, they got out of Egypt in the year 487. From this year, we will count 480 years. And that was at the time when Solomon constructed the temple. In other words, Solomon began the construction in 967. This was the 4th year when Solomon reigned the kingdom. So Solomon became a king in 963. Now Solomon had 37 years left to finish the year positive 1,000. Since Solomon reigned the kingdom in 40 years, so he had 3 years, which was already in negative 1,000 years. If we will subtract the negative 3 years from negative 1,000 years, the answer is negative 997. So this number of years will be subtracted from 2,520 years, which is the appointed time of God. So we will have the answer of 1,523 years, or 1523 in short. This was the time when God bestowed the kingdom to the nations, which became a Christian nation. In this regard, God sent a priest on March 16, 1521, in order to Christianize the Filipino, for the kingdom of God should be given to a nation in which Christianity abided. Now, we cannot profoundly deny that the Philippines is the abode of the Christian people who are struggling for salvation, whether in group or individual. We learned very well that Philippines became a Christian country on April 14, 1521, 2 years before God gave the kingdom in 1522. It is very clear to mention the kingdom of God, because the year 1523 is the reputation of the history of the real and true kingdom of God at the time of King Solomon during his last hour in negative 997. The biblical history reveals that the creation of Adam was in the island surrounded by the two branches of twin river of Tigris River and Euphrates River. This is precisely called Mesopotamia. From a Greek language, Mesopo, which means in the island surrounded by the two branches of river. So in a vivid narration, after the creation of Adam, God rested in the seventh day. Since one day of God is equal to 1,000 years of man. So Adam should be in the Garden of Eden and live at the same time as God rested. But before the year ended, Adam committed sin. In the year 821, Adam committed sin. So God completely erased Mesopotamia after the 20th generation at the time of Abraham. So the plan of God was carried by Abraham in Canaan. Many years passed by that Jesus was born in Bethlehem. His human flesh was chosen so that Christ, the true God, could humanly speak to the people for the preparation of his third week in this world. Many Jews did not believe him, so he took away the kingdom of God and gave it to a nation which became in Christian in 1523. From this time, 40 years should be counted off. When Adam, who could give the life of the people, should appear, it was in 1563. When Adam came to the Philippines, in the person of Datu Pagbuaya. Since Adam lived in Mesopotamia, which was an island surrounded by the two branches of river. So with the new Mesopotamia, which is also surrounded by the two branches of river, called Holo River and Liburan River. According to the plan of God, the place should be discovered 40 years after the repetition of the history of King Solomon. So, the history repeated in 1523. 40 years after, Datu Pagbuaya reached Dapitan in 1563. Counting from it the remaining 390 years. The answer is 1953, when Datu Pagbuaya is spiritually returned in Dapitan. 10 years after, the town of Dapitan became a city under the penmanship of President Diosdado Macapagal from 1963 through Republic Act number of 3811 of June 22, 1963. So another 10 years that followed. Dapitan City became the shrine city under the signature of President Ferdinand E. Marcos. From 1973 through Presidential Decree number of 105 of January 24, 1973. So, in this juncture, Dapitan City, which is now Dapitan Shrine City, is the new Mesopotamia, where the second Adam, who personified Datu Pagbuaya in 1563, will come back to Dapitan City. So that's all. Thank you very much, most especially to our divine mentor, Supreme King Pilimon Ondo Riam Punanto. So good evening to all of us.
Salamat, Prince, sa iyong pagbabahagi sa amin kung tungkol kung nasaan ang kaharian ng Diyos at kung ano ang plano ng Diyos at sa Dapitan. So, balik tayo sa Isabela. Tawagin natin ang provincial leader ng Isabela na walang iba kundi si Hari Tempucio Ancheta.
Bakit nakita mo ako?